Alrighty, moving on in our segments. Hey, you see it. Breaking news, man. Breaking news. Okay, you see it. You see it. You know what time it is. So this is big news. Okay, big news for the people all the way in the back. Where are my Rastafaris at? I see you guys. Where you guys at? Where you guys at? Yeah, man. Can they get some love one time? You want to know why? You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Look, I'll tell you why. Because, hey, they are trying to declassify or reclassify cannabis to a less dangerous class. Uh-oh. Hold up. Hold up, man. Fair use. YouTube. Hey, come on. YouTube, this is from BBC. I'm just putting this image up here. It's a plant. It's natural. It's organic. Okay, why is this important? This is a huge policy shift that is potentially going to be affecting millions here within the United States. So the U.S. Department of Justice has officially reclassified cannabis as a less dangerous, making a major shift in the country's drug policy. Oh my goodness.
Bomba. And
yeah.
what am I doing here?
Yeah, so just so you guys know, marijuana remains illegal at the federal level despite the federal ban. Most U.S. states have legalized the medical or recreational use of marijuana, and many have shops where it can be purchased legally. Many states here and within the United States do offer this at a state level. Depending upon where you are, you can, partake within the Rockies. Over in Colorado, they have just legalized recreational in many of the cities, I believe statewide. So it just kind of shows the advance. And I will say this is something that has been a continual play by this administration in their first time around when they passed the Farmers Bill, allowing hemp to be a loophole, aka like a scapegoat, and how they legalize CBD in many states like Texas and New York, Florida. Many of them came on board, and you would see CBD shops popping up everywhere. But it's just one of those things where once you open the door, hey man, you can't stop what comes after that, man. And congrats to the men and women that stood up on this legislation and got this pushed. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, this has been going on for decades. I mean, your parents. I don't know if they, your grandparents might have been dealing with, weed being illegal back in the day. But anyway, since 1970, the U.S. has classified marijuana as a Schedule I controlled substance, meaning, meaning that it possesses a high potential for abuse. Wow. And there was no currently accepted, there was no currently accepted medical use. Okay, at the time. Okay. And then here we go. They continue on. The Biden administration initiated the review of the classification. For the first time. And then back in 2024, the DEA requested hearings, and the hearings were indefinitely postponed. So Trump's change is mostly symbolic, said Morgan Fox, of the National Organization of the Reform of Marijuana Laws, aka NORML for the acronym lovers out there. Moving it out of that classification allows us to have policy conservations that don't start and end with that definition. Lots of policymakers continue to fall back on that and really don't even discuss the issue as long as cannabis is a Schedule I. That makes so much sense. Let me break that down for you. So many people wouldn't even touch this or address it because of the severity that it is tied to. Stigma, the stigma that's associated with it. So it looks like the real solution is to deschedule cannabis to the federal level, not just to move it to a Schedule III, and then start changes in the laws, regulatory ways to provide guidance so we can get a little bit of uniformity, said Fox. Okay, let me swing over here real quick. Let's see. Throw that in here real quick. Let that load. Yeah, man. It's interesting. Shout out to them for trying to get this legalized, trying to get this pushed. I feel like there's a lot of people that are spending time in jail because of petty crimes pertaining to a misscheduling of marijuana in itself, and I really don't feel like anybody should have to go to jail for selling plants. But to each its own. So let's see. Short answer: it has not been fully declassified or legalized federally, but it has been rescheduled. Okay. Okay. Can I close the sidebar? All right. But it has been reclassified from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 for state licensed medical. Okay. 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 All right. Overall, what does this mean? Bottom line: marijuana has not been declassified, but it has been federally reclassified for medical use. The biggest shift in federal cannabis policy in decades. Full rescheduling of or legalization is still pending, but if you want to, okay, cool. Well, that's pretty awesome. Good to know. All right. Good to know. Good to know. So what do you guys think? Do you think marijuana should be fully legalized nationwide? What are your thoughts on this? Do you feel like they've done the right thing by even addressing this and even, easing some of the classifications on it, shifting in its classification? I mean, ultimately, I personally think they are doing the right thing. I think they should honestly take it off of the class entirely, but due to its potential addictive nature, allegedly, then yeah, maybe it might need to be reassessed. Okay, but I think they need to get off the list personally. But I appreciate you guys for popping in on this new news where Trump's administration is reclassifying it from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 for medical use. Amazing stuff.